That's right. I was the first on scene. Less than 24 hours ago, multiple agencies were right here where I'm standing after they had just pulled a body from the red right behind me. As you can see, there's actually a train passing right behind me now. This busy intersection could sometimes cause cars to back up and sit here and wait, but that soon could be changing. Now that the sun is coming up, you can start to see how severe the damage really is. Check this out over here too. Firefighters from Horace used this pool over here to get water over to the house because there were no fire hydrants in this area to put out the flames. That's right, I've been out here all morning surveying the area. These are some of the things that I found. Pieces of siding of houses just laying out here on the ground. That's actually where I found it. Trees of this size, even larger, uprooted out of the ground. Even some shingles off of the roofs. It's been more than a week since 22-year-old Savannah LaFontaine Graywin has been missing, and just yesterday evening, kayakers found her body wrapped in plastic, hung up on a log in the Red River, which is just up this road behind me. As you can see, it's where those flashing lights are. But if you want to send your pictures, send them to WDAY.com, and we will find out where you guys are and try to get to that location just to show you what it's like out here. Good morning, Riley and Jordan. That's right, this is not my normal attire, but I don't mind it at all. We are now in the old-time photo booth at the Red River Valley Fair. If you pour it, they will come. Find out about Fargo's newest festival next. We are telling you about the artist you can meet, and actually I'm joined now with Chelsea Liberati, who is the artist in residence this year, and she has been working on this masterpiece since we got out here this morning. So Chelsea, what are you making? Hip hop, the hippity hop, where the music won't stop in Fargo.
Bam!
Yes, there we go. Thank you so much, Buckets.
No
When we come
problem.
back, we'll show you a couple more tricks, and maybe I'll learn a routine. We're going to come out now with a little dance that we've learned on the side. Cassie, take it away. And guys, don't forget that class is tonight at 5:30. It's just $10 to come and break a sweat and drink a cool brew. Back to you two in the studio. Scouting for supplies, where kids can come to get free backpacks with all the items they need to start the school year. I don't know if I can put all this in my mouth.
Oh, come on, let's...
This is huge. I'm gonna go from the back so it'll make a huge mess.
Go ahead.
This is good. Wow. You have to tell us more while I chew this. Come on. First day. Students at Aurora Elementary School in West Fargo made their way back to class this morning.
Bye, Dad. Love you.
I love you, buddy.
Have a good day.
Kids hurried across 9th Street West in hopes of beating the school bell. But Cassie Erickson, a parent of a student at the school, says this crosswalk isn't safe because there is not a permanent crossing guard.
There is morning rush hour traffic, and people are looking at their phones. They're not always paying attention to what's happening up in front of them.
Erickson says she and the other parents have been fighting for the guard for a few years now. Last school year, the school district answered parents' concerns by adding these lighted signs that are activated by the push of a button. But some parents say these signs aren't enough. Last Friday, at back-to-school night, parents were notified through a letter that a crossing guard would help kids cross the busy road for the first week. Next week, kids are on their own.
We as neighbors push to the school, and then the school pushes back, and we just feel like the school pushed back and threw their hands up in the air and said, that's all we're going to do.
Erickson is not alone. Parents living in the Eagle Run community voiced their opinions in a Facebook post. Some parents suggested adding crossing arms to the crosswalk. Others suggested starting a safety patrol program. The older students would help the younger kids cross the street.
Right now, I'm just not comfortable them crossing alone.
Dominique Brogel, WDAY 6 News. From the outside of Claudia's home, it seemed she had it all. A family, a job, and a hardworking spouse.
My situation, I think, is different than most people. If you think of like a crisis situation.
But inside the walls of her home, a life Claudia had to hide from others for more than 25 years.
You try to pull everything together at work so no one knows anything, and then at home you're kind of like you're on eggshells.
She says the abuse from her husband went as far as being punched and shoved.
You've been manipulated, you've been broken down, and you have no self-worth.
But it wasn't just her self-worth. Her kids were also victims.
There was some pushing, shoving, and definitely the verbal abuse.
It became all too much for Claudia. After seeking guidance from people she trusted, she was pointed to Lakes Crisis and Resource Center's domestic violence shelter called Mary's Place in Detroit Lakes. However, Claudia still wasn't certain she belonged.
When you walk in the door, they do show you the abuse wheel, and you start looking at the I think it's a pie chart, and that is telling because you start to realize, oh my word, out of all of them, I think I fell into every category but one.
Anna Sellen, Assistant Director of Lakes Crisis and Resource Center, says the next step for Claudia and many women is rediscovering self-worth.
Our goal is to empower, to help the women that utilize our Mary's Place shelter to feel that you've got everything within you to succeed.
While at Mary's Place, Claudia got legal and mental help. Claudia and her family felt safe inside the shelter, but out here on the swings, they felt free.
They stepped out into the backyard and there are swings. And the sky was dark and there were stars, and they just sat there in the fresh air and took in just being able to breathe.
Sellen says the center doesn't put time limits or constraints on the help it provides, but the average stay is about 3 months.
Some need driver's license, social security cards, birth certificates, finding housing, maybe finding employment.
Since her time at Mary's Place, Claudia gained full custody of her 2 children and started doing hobbies that she enjoyed again. She wants others in similar situations to have the same experience she and her kids had on the swing set.
Don't hesitate. You just need to do it.
That's why she's sharing her story about why it's never too late to get help.
You have regrets of waiting too long, and there are, this place offers so much.
Dominique Brogel, WDAY 6 News. A former child care provider in Devils Lake says she was fired from a youth care facility after reporting what she calls abusive and threatening behavior by another employee. It's a night that will remain among Fargo's most stinging tragedies. Friday night marked 1 year since a Fargo police officer gave his life in the line of duty. Earlier this week, we were told the University of North Dakota would not have any more budget cuts for the next 2 years. And on Friday, we found out that statement may not be true. A woman from Reynolds, North Dakota says she's never been more thankful to return home. She witnessed chaos after the largest mass shooting in American history. That's a good reminder that you really need to drive safe on those roads.
Yes, there are some slick spots, especially where those temperatures have dropped below the 32-degree mark.
All right, thank you, Lauren. And sticking with weather, people are taking advantage of the nice weather in Grand Forks, but police say, look out. 25-year-old man was arrested after leading police on a chase through multiple counties, hitting speeds of 100 miles per hour. No complaints at all, and I'm not going to lie to you, I actually tanned yesterday. I know it's not good for you, but it was so nice to soak up some sun for the first time in a very long time.
Yes, definitely.
All right, thank you so much, Lauren. A group hoping to oust a Fargo commissioner is getting the green light from the Attorney General. Wayne Stencham says a petition to recall Dave Pepcorn is a valid way to remove him from office.